The genesis of this engagement was a Russian offensive, one that concluded in an absolute defeat and a hasty retreat from Ukraine's armored forces. The onslaught commences. A formation of Russian armor splits its ranks, pressing forward toward the Ukrainian defensive positions. Russian shock troops initiate their push against one of the forested belts. The soldiers disembark from their personnel carriers, deploying to secure strategic vantage points. Ukrainian unmanned aircraft attempt to hold the remaining forces at bay. A Leopard tank joins the fray. From multiple angles, we witness it scoring several direct hits on an enemy personnel carrier. Through the lens of a Russian soldier's camera, we see them taking fire from all sides. Nevertheless, they succeeded in pushing slightly farther. Drones begin deploying explosives upon them. A second tank manages to reach a different tree line. An array of drones was utilized to halt its progress, but to no avail. Take note of this modified vehicle and its protective shell. It appears the Russians are adapting their defenses against drone warfare. Putin's stormtroopers navigate through the wooded terrain. A Ukrainian Leopard decisively moves out to stop the enemy infantry from establishing a foothold. It roams freely across the open field, shelling their suspected locations. However, during its withdrawal, a Russian drone materializes in the sky. It strikes the Leopard, sending it rolling uncontrollably into a trench where it is ultimately neutralized. Concurrently, not far from this spot, a formidable column of armored vehicles makes its appearance. Form up the 1st Mechanized Battalion. A massive horde of orcs is on its way. Prepare their reception. They continue their charge. Infantry fighting vehicles carrying troops execute the commander's directive and move to launch a counter-assault. From the opposite flank, a Leopard outfitted with a mine-clearing trawl forges a path. Just before the tree line, it strikes a mine which fails to cause any significant damage. The IFVs come to a stop and unload their infantry complements. The soldiers operate with speed and cohesion. The commander issues the command to clear the bend and then achieve a breakthrough. Get set. We're cutting through here. As soon as we clear the turn, we push in. Ruski Avan, give up. The Russians spot the dismounted troops and reply with a barrage of fire. A ferocious firefight ignites. They're concentrating on us. The Ukrainian Armed Forces armored carriers provide cover for the infantry with machine gun fire. But then, this unfolds. Ukrainian artillery, alongside the Leopard, unleashes fire upon the column. A few well-aimed shots obliterate a Russian APC. The other APCs, unable to contend with the Leopard, fall back. To prevent their withdrawal, the Ukrainians sent drones airborne. The primary target for these drones was the modified tank. It takes a direct hit to its flank, but with no major damage. Another strike follows. This drone managed to fly beneath the protective cage, yet the tank keeps moving. Through the optics of the succeeding drone, we can appreciate the immense effort required for a single target. Later, the Ukrainian military would report that it took approximately 60 drone strikes to breach this armor. Meanwhile, a Bradley IFV intercepted this particular APC. The legendary fighting vehicle engages from a vast distance, its Bushmaster cannon firing with incredible precision and armor-penetrating power. This target is neutralized with ease. In its place, a husk resembling a sieve will be left to decay. At another point in the woods, Ukrainian soldiers dismount under the protection of a Leopard. Witness how this plays out. Ukrainian infantry exits an APC, and a soldier then pans his camera to the Leopard as it delivers suppressive fire, maneuvering along the tree line to bombard enemy positions. The war, woo! The Russian commander, grasping the severity of the circumstances, gives the retreat order. As his troops pull back, he engages the UAF with a grenade launcher. One projectile lands perilously close to the Ukrainians. Despite this, they press on with their advance. Let's move. On your feet, a soldier calls out the position of friendly units. Friendlies, 12 o'clock. Go, go, go. One Russian squad abandons its post. The commander continues to operate the grenade launcher. The field officer holds his position and relays intelligence. The Ukrainians spot the enemy beginning to shift. There they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're emerging from that wooded strip. They move from the woods into the trenches, but the Ukrainians are already there in wait for them. The soldiers exit their APC and proceed to storm the enemy positions in a slow, methodical, and highly professional manner. They begin by systematically tossing grenades into the trenches before making entry. The enemy sustains heavy casualties. The UAF systematically pushes deeper and deeper. The infantry advances through a secured corridor, the results of their effective work littering the ground. For the Russians in the trenches, the situation has become dire. Imagine rats scurrying from their holes this morning only to find us everywhere. The main objective is complete. This unit consolidates its new position in the trench nearest the woods. The tank suppresses enemy activity, allowing the infantry to push even further. A direct hit lands squarely in the trench. Having achieved a breakthrough, the assault troops fortify their hold on the captured trench. My squad and the horse element are setting a 360-degree perimeter. We're digging in here. The commander relays new instructions. The Russians, still defiant, continue the firefight. Enemy drones and grenade launchers remain active. The Russian officer sends a few more men forward to stall the UAF, hoping the assault will lose momentum. This proved to be a fatal miscalculation. A vast number of drones are already swarming overhead, dropping ordnance directly into the Russian trenches. And now, the battle reaches its crescendo. Ukrainian tanks and APCs charge forward to overwhelm an enemy that has exhausted its resources. The Bradleys' ramp descends, revealing the battlefield in the morning light. The tension is palpable. Any second now, the Russians are still attempting to hold their ground. You with the launcher, get over here. Fire straight ahead, 12 o'clock. At the same time, a Ukrainian commander directs his units, and alongside a Dutch-supplied APC, they push straight through the remnants of the forest. Reconnaissance drones patrol the skies above the battlefield. The soldiers are perfectly coordinated. All enemy positions are exposed. From another vector, 2 more Ukrainian APCs arrive and disembark their troops. The Russians hold advantageous terrain, but chaos erupts among them. Some break and run, others return fire. Here are the UAF assault elements. And over in that direction lies a large concentration of hostile forces. The situation is complex. UAF soldiers are doing everything in their power to advance and neutralize the remaining opposition. The soldiers expertly clear each trench, checking every corner. The enemy presence has all but vanished. A YPR 765 is firing on the area around the woods. As the UAF moves up, they get word that the Russians are fleeing from them toward the left flank. Pushing. Contact. Keep pushing. A Ukrainian tank plows directly into the forest. The Russians are spent. They are out of resources with nothing left to counter the armored vehicle. The tank drives right at the enemy, flushing the last adversaries out of the woods. In a massive wave, Russians pour into the open field and capitulate. Here is the Ukrainian reaction following the assault. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episodes.